Costco is by far the best store in my area to get fresh fish. Problem with Costco is you get a lot of it. This time I'm not gonna freeze all of that, so I decided I need to preserve some of it for a few days longer. The classic version of this is called rollmops in German, which is a herring fillet wrapped around a savory filling, usually a pickle. I learned the recipe as a kid when I went fishing a lot and caught these like little greedy fish that are very bony but tasty. This is a recipe that gets rid of the bones, particularly in these smaller fillets. It's a 2-day process. Today we're taking care of the first step, which is cleaning the fillets and salting them. I'm just cutting these in half, so I end up with nice thin fillets, which I can roll up around a piece of pickle. That done, we need a simple 6% brine. That's either about a cup of kosher salt per half gallon of water, or it's 60 grams of salt per liter of water. You may be wondering where all the flavor is going to come from. You don't need any flavorings in this yet. This is just a salting process. We are going to put this into a pickling liquid later where there's going to be spices and stuff. We put our fish in here. Make sure it doesn't stick together so that all sides get in contact with the water. Now you let this sit on the counter for about an hour, and then you cover it and put it in the fridge overnight. And while we're waiting for the fish to cure, there's plenty of time to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another episode. The fish is brined, and now it's time to pickle it. Take your fish out of the brine and rinse it off. After rinsing, I just toss these on some paper towels and just pat them dry. Set these aside for now. And it's actually time to get the pickling juice going. There's a few spices, some pepper, some mustard, some sugar, and some bay leaves. And we need onions. So I'm having 2 small onions here, and I just sliced them thinly. Now roast these onions on low to medium heat with a little bit of oil until they're soft. I'm transferring the onions into a pot. I've just been using the pan because it's easier to film. Now we add our mix of spices, bay leaf and all that. 2 cups of water and 2 cups of vinegar. Let this boil for just a minute or 2. Turn this off and let it cool down to room temperature. My pickling juice has cooled off. Lay down one of your fillets. Grab a few of those onions. And now just roll it up from the smaller side, so that's usually the tail end. Once you got that rolled up, you secure it with a toothpick, or 2 actually. Then you place it into a glass vessel. A mason jar would work well. I'm just using these glass containers I have. And you keep doing this for all your fillets. If you want to see what this looks like using a pickle, you just use like a quartered pickle instead or together with some of the onions. And then you roll this up just like any other one and secure it with a toothpick. Once you got your vessel filled, you just ladle over the pickling juice. Make sure everything is submerged. You cover these up and you put them in the fridge for between 3 and 7 days. In my case, 3 to 4 days will be enough because these fillets don't have any bones in them. If you have a fillet that still has a few of these little Y bones in it, go up to 7 days because then the vinegar will dissolve the bones. Now, if you have fillets that are thicker than this and you don't want to start rolling them up, there is no need to. You could simply cut those fillets into bite-sized pieces and just pickle them in the pickling juice. So I'm going to do a second one doing that. Just bite-sized pieces. No need to roll them up. This is the quick and dirty version. Again, fill it up with the pickling juice so that everything is covered. Close it up. And there's your pickled fish. While we wait for these to pickle, there's a good opportunity to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another episode. Our fish has spent a few days lounging in the fridge, so it's time to check up on it. I just grab one of the pieces here. Excellent stuff. There's one of the rolled ones. And I'm just going to cut it in half. And there you go. Traditionally, these things are eaten with some kind of rustic bread. Link to my sourdough recipe up here. Or they're eaten as a simple dinner with roast potatoes. I happen to have a few cooked potatoes in my fridge, so I'm going to turn these into a nice dinner with roast potatoes. I'm using clarified butter here. Much less splatter. If you want me to make a video about clarified butter, let me know in the comments. In go the potatoes. And there are roast potatoes. Let me quickly add some of those to my plate here. And there's dinner.